Aaron, Jason just mentioned Carlos. Overall, what did you think of his outing? What stood out to you about the way he was throwing the ball?
Just a command of himself and his pitches. Probably ran out a little bit there where he had the 2 walks there in the 6th. But, really sharp, I thought, command-wise. Good presence with everything. I thought his stuff was good, but I thought he was really in command of his motions out there, and just executed a lot.
You're already down 2 starters. He looked like he had rolled his ankle there. Scary moment in the 4th inning. How much were you holding your breath when you ran out to see if he was okay?
I thought he was okay. I thought he was just more mad. So, but I wanted to make sure and then, give him a blow there if nothing else. So, maybe a little bit concerned, but my interpretation was more that he was upset.
And we asked you before the game about Austin Wells in that leadoff spot. Got off to a good start there. Just overall, his performance.
Yeah, great. I thought he was great behind the plate too. In the dirt, I thought he was really good. Real good decision making back there, and then some really good at bats too. Had the walk there. We had a chance maybe a couple times to break it open, couldn't quite do it, but I thought he did a good job setting the tone. Obviously to go deep first AB. I heard it was the first catcher ever, and wow, we've been doing this for a long time, so that's pretty neat. But that's what he's capable of right there. So, he was excellent today.
Peter and Eric.
Aaron, with you guys dealing with the injuries to the starting rotation, just how important is it to have Carlos be consistent and I guess even maybe step up?
Yeah, I don't even look at it as step up. He was incredibly consistent for us last year. So that's, he's capable of that right there, and more sometimes. So I just want him to really focus on his job every single day, and that's not just the day he pitches. Now it starts the process to when he's back out there in 6 days, I think, with the 2 off days. So I just want him to focus on that, and if he does that, the results will handle themselves for him because he's got ability, and so that's always my message to Carlos is focus on just kind of chopping wood every day.
Eric.
Aaron, the first thing you mentioned with Austin was how good he was behind the plate. You know what the questions were when you guys drafted him. What kind of growth have you seen in him on that side of the ball from the time you drafted him and through now?
Yeah, so I didn't see him a lot, obviously, in the minor leagues. But, I think the industry had real questions about him behind the plate. And as did we, even coming up through the system, I know. But it's remarkable, really is. To see where he's at now is, to me, one of the game's really good defensive catchers. It's a testament to the work he's put in. It's a testament to the coaches that have helped him along the way. But ultimately, his ability and his commitment and the one thing I've always noticed, and I've said this to you guys a lot about Austin, is there's just presence to him. I felt that way the first big league camp he was with us, where he wasn't going to make the team. There's just something about him that you notice.
Ron.
As you went in your mind through various lineups and batting orders in the offseason, when was the moment that you first started thinking about Austin for leadoff?
He was one of the guys in the winter that I thought of. But really, when I said that at the start of camp, there was really 6 or 7 guys in my mind. And frankly, there still are. This is one game, and I think there's a number of guys that could fit that bill over time, and we'll just see how it plays out. But pretty early on in camp, I felt like, I get it, it's unconventional, it's the catcher, and he's not a burner and all that. But to me, it made a lot of sense, potential. He's one of the guys in my head I could say, this works for me. And I think that's where he is as a hitter now, too. I think he's really a lot more advanced, and I think he's going to take another step from last year.
What was his reaction when you first told him you were thinking of that?
Cool. And then I think he homered in his first at bat in spring training too, in the leadoff spot. So hopefully he continues doing that.
Susan, and then the end of the front row.
How tough is it to be Devin Williams to come in, and it's his old team, and the crowd it's a sellout crowd. It's very different here.
Yeah. Love that he didn't break. Ends up, getting backed into a corner there and having Churio and Yelich coming barreling down at you there with now the game in the balance and not a lot of margin for error there. And he just kept making pitches. And I'm sure, too, at the end was tired. I was getting very uncomfortable to where he was from a pitch count standpoint. So, once he got Churio after a long battle and just made a really good pitch on him to finish him off, I was going to give him one more batter with Yelich there, and he just kept making pitches. So it's not always easy, but glad how he didn't break.
Aaron, right over here. Crystal Rich, CBS. Congrats on the opening day win.
Thank you.
The top of this lineup obviously looks so much different than last season. You spoke a lot about Austin. Aaron came in and gave you that RBI double in the 7th. When you walked out of that dugout, what about this offense that you saw today resonated the most?
Look, I think two of our younger players that we're counting on taking steps offensively, Austin and Volpe, doing what they're capable of doing, that was big. Obviously the captain cashing in there was big for us, but I think we have a chance to have a really good offense. We'll see. We're a lot. It's a little odd for us to be, especially we've been right-handed over the years, so being as left-handed as we are, seeing left-handed relievers throughout the game, I'm not used to that. Usually we're playing against and we're seeing righty killers all the time. So that's a little bit different, but the speed game didn't really play a part today, but that's something that we're capable of doing now too.
Over the left, Chris.
When you guys got Carlos, he was almost exclusively a two-pitch pitcher. Today he used 6 different pitches. Do you expect him to be more?
Yeah,
of
he broke out the sinker today too.
He did.
Yeah.
Do you expect him to be more of a kitchen sink type of pitcher moving forward?
I don't know. I'm not ready to say he's going to be Max Fried. So Max on Saturday, you might see more than that many pitches. So, look, his bread and butter. I thought his slider was really good today too. And that's still going to be his calling card, but I think the changeup's really good now. The ability to slow it down too with the curveball, and then introducing that sinker. I don't know how many he threw today, but I know at least a couple. So he's capable of doing that, and I think to have real longevity in this game as a pitcher, you got to be able to evolve and adapt and probably add and subtract to your arsenal throughout the years, and he's done a good job of that.
This experience like for you today?
Full of crazy emotions, man, honestly. Just so excited, so many nerves, and, a lot of butterflies, but at the end of the day, just got to embrace them, understand it's a cool experience, and came out with a W, and that's the most important thing.
Austin lost the game with that home run. What did that do for the dugout?
Oh, it's great. Just shoot of adrenaline, shoot of energy, and with that, first run off your back and ready to roll.
Cody, you played with Mark Leiter Jr. in Chicago. When he's at his best, how would you describe him as?
Oh man, what he does today. He locates really well. He's got so much confidence about himself, and he's very knowledgeable about his repertoire and how to pitch and how to get guys out, and love when he's on the mound.
You get to see your dad today?
Saw him last night. I'll see him again tonight.
What did you guys do last night?
Just had a nice little dinner. Parents, my family, so they're going to be out for a few days. So definitely, enjoy it with everyone, and it was nice to get the W today and really celebrate and have some fun.
Obviously, just one of 162, but how does it feel to start the season, on the right note?
Yeah, being 1-0 is it's always a great feeling. I trust the guys in this locker room, and we're all here for one goal, and that's winning. And I'm excited to be a part of this group, and I think it's going to be fun, and it was good to get off to a good start.
a lot's been made about kind of the injury situation, about, losing Soto and the pieces that aren't here. Do you feel like you guys, kind of have that mindset that you want to send a message that, like, the guys that you have here are still really good?
Yeah, the guys that we lost with injury and obviously Juan, it's no easy task. But I think with the guys in this locker room, the culture in this locker room, we're here to win. And, that's the end goal, however we may do it that night. And, I'm excited to be a part of that and part of this culture.